Well, hey guys, welcome to Step into the Miraculous. I am your guide, Joan of Angels. And today we're going to have a great show in just a couple of minutes talking about the programming that has been going on in our society around us, how this programming happens, and even more importantly, how we can actually help get rid of the programs, help shift them and clear them from our own frequency field, which I think is being part of the solution and not the problem. So I'm going to be really excited to bring our guest on in just a minute. But meanwhile, I want to really welcome you to the channel. If you're new to the channel, welcome. If you're seeing it later, we are happy to see you. And I am an intuitive guide myself. I help people step into the miraculous and remember who they are, why you're here, what your purpose is, what your mission is, and most important, how to align with the energies of today so you can do what you came here to do. So please like, subscribe, and share the channel. Go check out my website and get your free ebook and get into, I think, the swing of things at joanofangels.com. All right, good. So today we're going to be talking with Julia Stubbe. She is a gifted energy intuitive channel and teacher. She specializes in assisting others to wholeness through self-empowerment. All right, she uses a holistic approach, interweaving many healing modalities to find deeper understanding of physical and emotional dis-ease by peeling away the layers of surface challenges and blockages, like the programming, by the way. We'll come to a realization and understanding of issues through these healing enlightenment programs. We'll actually understand and get to clear and facilitate transformations with her hands-on healing approach. So our guest is Julia. We've had her on the show before. I want you to take a deep breath in and just sort of join with me. All right, let's just all take a deep breath in together. I don't know about you, but just even turning on my computer has a new element these days. Like it's on fire in some way, connected to some, mass program out there. So we can actually dive in. Welcome, Julia. I'm just happy to see you.
Oh, Joan, thanks for having me again. I'm so grateful. And I loved your introduction. It's like the beautiful music. I saw you in that red dress and I was like, ooh, I just feel that yummy stuff going on. So that's really magical.
That was yummy stuff. That was a red carpet.
I felt it. I was like, woo, I think I'll take some of that.
When I first did my first acting in a movie. And so it was actually really exciting. And it was claiming who I am, what I'm here to do, and my power. So I'm very glad that you noticed that. All right, let's all take a deep breath, guys. All together. So we're kind of together as we welcome Julia. And we hear what she has to say. So Julia, you are doing some phenomenal work. And I want to know a little bit about what's been going on in your thinking about what's happening for all of us.
Well, I get downloads on a regular basis. And sometimes it's like I'm supposed to share to the masses. It's like a lot of things I put out there for free on my YouTube channel. Sometimes it's like I'm supposed to put them on my website. Sometimes I create an event. It just depends how I'm guided. And the one thing that showed up for me a couple weeks ago, back in December, was how we are so locked into these matrices, these programs of fear and where they come from. And I've always looked at this like a computer, and it's like I update my computer. It's like, I clear my programs and this and that. But I didn't understand that I was networked into even a bigger computer. I'm not a standalone unit. And I'm like, that's the way I felt. It was like, so when I had this download, they showed me like this reptilian computer that was locked in to me. And I was like, whoa, where's that coming from? So I explored it, and it's like, so I disconnected from it. And then I worked with, one of my clients a little bit with it, and she felt these huge changes. And then I was guided to work with another client. And that time, then I saw all these little satellites. So you've got that 5G stuff going on, and then these little satellites of malicious beings or non-benevolent beings with lower vibration that are also feeding into my network system. So it was like, whoa, so how do I like, what do I do here? And it's like, so I heard it was like, Julia, after they showed me all this stuff, you want to put this out there for people to be able to take this to the next step. And anytime we look at anything, we're getting a program. We receive a program regardless of the source. Like, it could be social media. The mainstream news there's a whole kinds of propaganda going as far as that goes. And that's a constant feed if you're watching that. TV shows, songs. You could be reading a book and you're getting programs from a book.
So right now, actually, almost everything from the outside coming in seems like a direct attack on our discernment, a direct attack on our intuition, our ability to know what's truth or not, because it's almost as if they're out there bombarding us so we don't even have any clarity in our brain. Does that make sense?
Correct. Yeah, because that's one of the virtues. That's one of the things I work with are the virtues, and I work with actually that virtue of clarity. And I just feel like I should do this now, because it's like, we as empaths and sensitive people, we tend to attract and hold on to other people's stuff, other people's energies. And we hold it in our third chakra. That's in our solar plexus. It's our power center. So a lot of times it can be building up and we don't even know it's not even ours over a long period of time. So if you want, it's like, I'm going to give you a way just to go in there and really clear that out with the virtue of clarity. Want to go there with me, Joan?
Yes, we might as well okay, guys, share this out so we can get more people on here to take advantage of this particular clearing. I saw The Matrix 2 weeks ago, and that was another chance to deep dive into this kind of programming. So yeah, I want to see how we have a way out of this.
Yeah, this is just something I do on a daily basis, a couple times a day. I'll run my energy. So we're going to anchor into earth and we're going to connect with source. And I want you we're going to come in from the back of that chakra with the virtue of clarity. There's an inner wheel and an outer wheel of that chakra. The inner wheel is where your divine spark is. It's where your magic is, your divine light. The outer wheel is where your experiences are. So we're going to come in, we're going to activate the absolute scalar waves coming into the middle, that third chakra, that inner wheel with clarity. This allows you to discern what's yours, what isn't yours. Those scalar waves are in there mixing it all up so that you can really see that. That clarity is flowing out through that outer wheel. Those experiences, is this even mine? It's giving you the ability to discern here, be able to see what's yours and what isn't yours. And now we're going to bring in cleansing and clearing the virtues, again, through the back, because the back is where our history is. It's where all our knowledge is. We're going to bring that clearing and cleansing. Scalar waves are stirring and mixing it all up in there. And now just going to come out the front, everything that's not yours, all that transformed energy that wasn't yours, is either going to go up to the light and be transformed or back to its source. So just feel it coming out of the front of your solar plexus, out of that third chakra, releasing all that is not yours. You have the clarity to discern what is yours and what's not yours. So you can easily let go what's not yours here. How's that feeling for you?
Are we talking to everyone out there?
Anybody?
All right, guys, I want to hear everything, all that feedback. Interesting. I'm working on, there's a bunch of things in there.
Yeah, and we can go at like deeper levels, go with the deeper level as far as that goes. But that's just, I actually do that 3 times a day. It's like I do it first thing in the morning, I do it like midday sometime, and I do it before I go to bed, because when I go to sleep, I don't want to have somebody else's stuff in my energy field. So I want to really just push that out. And I do clearing. I've been doing clearing externally, but I'm super, super sensitive. And so I was like, what else can I do here? And I was taking a class with Cindy Dale. And she told us about this technique because I've been working with the virtues, and she also works with them. And I was like, whoa, this is cool. You could even bring clarity in through the back of your throat to really validate what you're saying. You can bring compassion to the back of the throat, and you can bring integrity in. So you can use that with your throat chakra as well.
Or your third eye. I'm thinking that actually we can do this discernment
with any
for
of the chakras.
everything.
Mm-hmm.
But
clarity is my favorite.
It is. I think I like discernment, clarity. I'm thinking about all the words I use when I talk about what I do. Yeah, discernment and clarity. Why? Because there's so much swirling stuff out there that if you don't know what you stand for, it's going to attach to you. And then suddenly you go off in that other direction that has nothing to do with you. So I think that's important. We're in different times, Julia, where it's really important now to clarify and have clarity about what we are, what we want, and really
also,
hold steady.
Yeah, and also awareness. It's like you've got to really be aware. It's like when something shows up in your life, it's like if it's a trigger, it's like I see a lot of this out there because there's so much fear and there's so much anger. So if people get triggered, they push out. And what we need to do is we got to look in, because a trigger is a beautiful opportunity to heal something within us that isn't healed, because that's why we're triggered. Because otherwise we could use that gift of detachment and just like, okay, that's their movie, that's their choice, whatever they're feeling, that's what they're projecting here, because they're my mirror, as far as that goes. So there's just that clarity, that awareness. It's like, just start there and love yourself. Really, really go within yourself and love yourself.
I guess I'm reminded this is actually really far. We're understating it, but it's actually really powerful, because I know in the last 2 years, as things raveled and unraveled and did their thing, there were days I'd get so agitated, and then I'd start sending out emails and pictures to everyone. It's like, do you know what's going on? And it would be in such and of course the person receiving it then would put up their own barrier to it. So my upset would attack them, because I had to send it because I was so upset, but they had to respond, and it fractured many relationships.
Right.
And I think that's another thing that's on my mind, that it's really time to come together, and we can only do it when we remove that veil of discernment. Like, we're not even talking about the same thing with people.
Right.
Like
because some people can't. It's like I have a friend. I think I was talking. It's like we've been friends for 50 years, and we see things so differently. And right now, there's a part of me that feels like I have to defend my choices, defend the things I'm making. And if I would talk to her right now, I would feel like I would have to shove things down her throat. So until I can heal that piece of me, I need to take a step back from that relationship, because that's her reality. Those are her choices. And I've honored her choices the whole time. It's just when she found out I didn't have the same choices, I felt condescended, put down, like I was like, what are you talking about? I felt that come on me, and I'm like, oh, that's a trigger. So I need to heal that. But there's also the point where it's like, I don't want to have to prove or defend who I am and my choices, because I think everybody really needs to have their own choices and their own experience. And yes, some of them are so under the programming and so programmed that they don't think there is anything else. But that's where they are. And all we can do, of those that can step out of that programming on a regular basis, is to be able to just send them love. Just really send them love. Come from your heart. Send them unconditional love, without expectation, without any kind of return. And my hope and my dream, I'm going to get emotional here, is that when we get through all this, we can come together and be unified again, and be family, and be with each other as a whole. and not be fractured like we are right now, as far as the division that's being caused with all the events right now. Oh, I'm sorry.
I mean, you never have to. We're being real, and if you're just going to show up with your mascara and your eyeliner and
I don't have any mascara on, so I'm really safe right now.
well, see, then there you have it.
I
We
just
are
want you
being
to know,
real.
can I put it like,
Okay.
this is no makeup, people. And guess how old I'm going to be this year? Anybody want to know? I'm going to be
21.
64. I'm 63.
All right, Julia. First of all, I'm going to say, guess how many years young I am? Because when you reach 50, then you're youngering. If you
I
apply
know,
the
we're
right
youngering. I love
principles.
it.
So I'm in the youngering phase. I want to say, let's go back to that subject, though, of how do we deal with this angst? Okay, so it's kind of like a road rage. You want to just, I've never had road rage, but it's what I would imagine, that you're ready to kill the person who cut you off. So sometimes for me, it's that same emotional current. I mean, I don't want to kill them. It's just that I have this
It's like,
upset.
yes,
So
it's like,
here's how I handle it. I just have to finish this. Wait for a second.
okay.
So it was so upsetting, Julia, that I was like bombarding people I loved with this. And they were like reeling and bombarding me back with fact checkers and all that stuff. So I realized I wasn't getting anywhere. And so now I actually send all of these things to myself. Anytime I find myself ready to send something to my sister or someone else, and I get ready to send it. And then it was like, let's send it to ourselves first and let it pass that road rage test. Okay. Like, is this really necessary to send it to them? Are they really going to get it? Or is it more that I'm announcing it to myself?
Mm-hmm.
So I've managed, and then I started a Telegram channel where I throw it all in. All the things that I'm thinking about just go in there. And I feel that in a way it's been a relief. It takes the pressure cooker. It takes the pressure out of it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. I can see that, because it's like, I know, like my son, he's an adult, he's in his early 30s, and he was making different choices than I was. And I knew I've raised him. So I've raised him to make choices and to be his own person. So for me,
Right.
to go and turn around and say, well, you should be doing this, this, and this. Well, that just defeats the whole purpose of raising him to be, an independent human being, as far as that goes. So it's like, I had to take a step back because I didn't want to fracture that relationship.
Right. Oh my God. And it's so important because I have that same thing going with both my children. All right. I actually raised them V-free, if you know that. And I was so shocked to find out that their doctors used to take them into the other room and say, when you get to be 18, we can do it all for you. Like, I just had no idea that how my children were getting programmed in a whole other way, different than what I was even thinking. But yeah, so I think we all have people in our family and friends. On Christmas, we were with the family. Half were going along with the party line, the other half weren't. And my son happened to be sitting right between the two parties. I was on this party. He was between our and he said to me, Mom, now I know what it's like for you when you're in a room full of people on my side, basically. He said, I really had to hold my tongue and really kind of open my heart. It was an eye opener for me because I had no idea. And kudos to my son. He actually was able to not go off the deep end like he might have. If I had told him those things directly, we would have had a war. But because he heard them in a different way, he was able to sit back and so, like that. And so that's why when you said to me, Joan, I've been developing these programs that will help break through programming, that I thought, no, we have to talk about this because this is our family, our friends, our coworkers, our hearts are being broken here.
Right. It's the process. And it's like, so we can detach from these programs. It's like, first of all, it's like, you got to realize, like I said, anytime they're coming from anywhere, like even like a book, it's like, you could be reading a book and you're getting a program in there. It's like, so like when I see processes that I do, it's like, are you familiar with the Sophia Code?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and that's a beautiful book. But some of my clients were like, I feel like it's like outside of me. And I said, well, you know what I do when I connect with that? I connect with the higher aspect of me that is Isis,
Mm-hmm.
or the higher aspect of me that is Green Terra, as far as that goes, or Hawthorne. So that I am only connecting with my direct energies that are me. So I don't go outside myself. So I'm not looking for things outside of me. I connect with the essence of me because we're all connected, all of us. So if you connect with that essence through your soul or through source or however you want to connect, then it's part of you that you're really connecting with. When we're getting these programs, these are stuff that's outside of us and it's giving our power away to them. So it shows up everywhere. I mean,
Right.
everywhere.
So I know that you have okay, you have a program to deprogram those who've been programmed by the program.
Well, it's a process, actually. I don't think it's a program. I call it a process because what we do is, like I said, I got shown this vision of this extra computer that we're tied
Mhm.
into. So what we do, that the process that I'm doing this Saturday, it's called releasing the fear matrix. And what we're doing is we're detaching directly our computer, our personal computer, from that main frame that is
Mhm.
carrying that. And then we're also disconnecting like from the 5G and the different satellites from the malicious beings. So it's like I can see the connections and we disconnect that from our DNA so that it gives us an opportunity to just let that go for however long it is till we watch the news or we go on our social media page and get more. But it gave me an opportunity to like breathe again. I'm like, whoa, okay, that feels different. And the two clients I worked with, they felt a huge amount of shifting and changing.
Mhm.
And then because I work with our bodies like they are a computer, I was also shown we're going to have a different kind of firewall here as far as that goes. And because it's like, so that these satellites can't get back into our system. So it's about
Well,
really upgrading that as well.
okay, you've given me a whole visual, Julia, that I had none, that I hadn't even had in my consciousness. Okay. I mean, because I started to think of the programming, the Borgs, the star, what was that from that movie, the TV show, Star Trek, and all of those beings. But you're saying that in a way, we're all tuned into the mainframe internet, the computer, our routers,
Mm-hmm.
in addition to the 5G and all of that. So in a way, we really actually are completely connected without even knowing it. Okay, as
Correct.
we're talking, I'm actually aware that I had no awareness of any of this until right now. So
Yeah. And that's
this
the
is
way they showed me because I was like, I was in
Mhm.
my own little world. It's like I'm working with my own computer, I'm deleting programs, blah, blah,
Right.
blah. And it's like when I had this vision, I was like, they showed me this. I'm like, oh my freaking A. It's like, and I was like, okay, what else am I supposed to know? And so it's like I got all this information. And then I've been working with it over the last couple of weeks to tweak as far as like when I get channeled, it's like, and so I write these little notes on so that when I do this process, this process that's coming up on Saturday, who knows? Because they'll probably show me even more as far as that goes, because most of the time I'm hooked in to my beings, my benevolent beings, and they channel through me. So I just make
Mhm.
notes. I get out of my own way and connect with those higher benevolent beings of divine love frequency or higher, and it just comes out.
So let's share this link to this. This is called Detaching from the Fear Matrix, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we want everyone, I'm going to post it here in the comments too, so people have it highlighted. Detaching from the Fear Matrix is your first upcoming event. And don't you have a second event that you told me about too?
Well, I have, there's a couple things. I have monthly nano clearings where we clear the nanotechnology that we get when that can come in from the chemtrails the GMO foods. It can come from any kind of like medicines or something that's not of nature. And there's etheric nano as well. There's physical nano. So there's a process that I run the last Sunday of every month. And I also give you tips. It's like, if you go on the web page, it's like, if you go under that gatherings, it'll take you to that nano clearing too, and you can go to the main page. But there's a place where you can get the recipe for a foot soak and a bath soak, as far as to get the physical nano out. When I've done it, if you have a black light, you can actually see this nano coming out of your body, and it glows, and you can see it moving around, and then the stuff kills it as far as that goes, and you can see how it is. So, and I can feel it coming out of me. And so there's a foot soak recipe, and there's a bath recipe, and you go to my website, and that's free. It's just, you just like register to get on the email list. And if you don't want any emails, which I don't send them a whole lot out anyhow, you can just cancel that as well. But that'll get you the recipe. And then the whole process is, like I said, and that is a pay whatever you can, because I was guided. It's like whatever you can afford, whatever you feel your investment is here. So if you want to pay $5 for it, or if you want to pay $22 for it, it's entirely up to you. And I've had, so that's out there as well.
I love that, Julia. I broke my toe a few months ago, which hasn't healed. And so the moment you mentioned that foot recipe, that foot detox, I'm going to go and get that foot wash.
Okay.
Okay. It awesome. Actually feels like little nanoparticles are in my foot.
And if you guys are intuitive in any way, because what I do is I have a couple people that I work with, and some people I work with one-on-one, and they're friends, and they'll go, I have this, I'm not feeling this. And I'm like, have you done a nano scan lately? And I have them close their eyes and look at their body, and I ask them to have the nano light up inside of them. And if you want, for those of you who are intuitive and you know your body, just close your eyes and you're just doing a nano scan, and you're just asking for any nano that's within your body to light up now. Some people see, some people can feel it lighting up. We're all a little bit different.
I would say I have more than I knew.
Huh?
I have more than I knew.
Yeah. So what you can do, Joan, for now is you can ask to deactivate it. So just go back in and see what you see or feel what you feel, and consciously deactivate it.
Perfect. Good.
So it's a process as far as that goes.
But I love it.
Yeah. So it's like, I just get, I love being able to facilitate, empower others to empower themselves. And when the universe, source, spirit, however your higher self shows you this stuff, it's like, when they show me this, it's like, okay, so what do you want me to do with this? How do I present it? And like, sometimes it's like, I might've done something like a year ago, and I have no idea. I don't remember what it was, because it was channeled, as far as that goes. So when somebody says, well, what is that all about? I said, sometimes I don't know, because it's like, I don't remember, because I'm in this state. And so it's just like, I don't know, there's so much magic that can happen. And I like to be in that magical state and that bliss. I like to just be in bliss as much as possible.
Well, I don't blame you. Bliss is actually my preferred state too. And here we are, fifth dimensional and above beings in these third dimensional bodies. So walking this path is an art form. Is there anything else you'd like to share with us, Julia? So we're putting the links down, guys. The links will be below in the descriptions also. So you can sign up and play with Julia, get those kinks out, get those nanobots out. But what else?
Well, anything I also have some new services available for those of you who are like on a budget, time and finances. I do these 20 minutes focus sessions for like $67 US. And we do things like work the sacred spine and do healing that way. We have a session where we do the virtues, clearing entities, calling back your fractals. There's 6 different things you can work on. So that's something you might want to check out, because a lot of that stuff was brought to my attention that I was supposed to just do 20 minutes because it's like a lot can happen. Because sometimes it's like what used to take us as facilitators for energy healing, what used to take us an hour, like now takes us 10 minutes. It's like, and then we're just talking the rest of the time. It's just the way it is. It's just like, no time or space. And it's magical.
I love it.
I love it too. It's like, but these are things that, I've been working with, like when I teach and I work with my groups and I work with individuals, a lot of these processes have been intermingled. And I'm like, well, what if somebody just wants to do that? And then that way they can just concentrate, just focus on that little piece of that. And that's what we're doing. And I'm just, and I'm just grateful to be here, Joan, because this was a lot of fun. And I just love you. And and anybody who's here, you want to subscribe to Joan's channel because she's going to build it up and we want to get everything out there for everybody else. So hit the subscribe button and you can share this video too. I won't tell anybody, but I would love you to share it.
That's just great. All right. Well, that's a really good promo. But I'm gonna hang out at your workshop on Saturday. I'm very excited to find out some of these tools that we can use to really start discerning where our own energy is and breaking free from this matrix programming. So I really I love just having you on the show. We're just going to do it regularly, Julia. So
I would love that.
That would be a lot of fun for us. So thank you very much, guys. Make sure you do exactly what Julia said. Subscribe, like, and share this particular video. Get Julia and I both out there. You notice our names both begin with J. And I tell everyone it's a J. And this is for someone, there's a John out there too, that our wing in heaven is already ready. Wait, our wing in heaven is assured, but the room's not ready yet. So don't worry about it. For all the J's. Something about the J's, I'm serious, that it is true. Those wings are ready. Oh, wait, those rings are ready. All right. Okay. Everyone, work with Julia. Let's get like clear away some of the programming and let's get our own personal focus back on track so we can be of service, do what we came here to do. Thanks, Julia, for everything. All right. Okay. I'm going to take a deep breath after that. I want to feel my own energy for a second. And I'm very excited about that. Tools that can clear away the cobwebs and clear away, I think, this repetitive programming that, like you say, one word and people tell you the same thing you've been hearing 24 hours a day over the media. So I think getting clear on what it is we stand for, what we're thinking about, where we want to go, how we're feeling is perfect. So we're very grateful to Julia. Check out all the links and make sure you work with her. And so meanwhile, guys, check out my YouTube channel. Please like, subscribe, and share that so we can continue to grow this content for all the J's out in the world, for those wings in heaven. But also, I too am intuitive. And these days I'm working to help you remember who you are. We call them soul awakening sessions, soul mastery, so that you can align with your destiny and your purpose this life. So go check out the website, joanofangels.com, and pick up your free book. All right, that's all for today. Thank you for joining us on Step Into the Miraculous. And you make sure you have a miraculous day, week, hour, month, every moment. Let it be on the highest levels of existence. And that's it for today. I'm Joan of Angels. We'll see you soon.